walking down the aisle. Don't do this.
Sneaky.
What you know why a woman wears white on the wedding day?
Tell us.
So the dishwasher matches the rest of the appliances.
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Hard and Domestic. I hope everyone's doing well out there. Alan may not make it tonight. We're not sure yet. We'll see what happens. I got a text about an hour and a half ago, so we'll see what happens. But good to see everyone out there so far. And with that, we'll get started and go through the room. Daniel, what's going on, man?
Not much, man. Thanks for the invite. I can't see the side chat, folks, so you got to tell Scotsman to post it up there. I'm sitting out here on the porch. Got some beautiful sunshine going on after 2 days of rain. And I'm going to try to stay on Scotsman's chat longer tonight than it was on Jamie's on Friday. Sorry about that, but the power went out.
All right. And Matt, how you doing, man? Is your weekend getting any better?
It's been neutral. It hasn't gotten any better, but it hasn't gotten any worse. So I guess that's all I can really ask for. Other than that, things are okay.
Good deal. Jamie, what's going on with you, man?
Oh, man. We've been working on barbecue around the house since yesterday after work, and today we had briskets, coleslaw, potato chips, and white bread with homemade barbecue sauce. So thanks for having me, man. This is always a pleasure hanging out with you guys on Sunday night.
Absolutely. Kingpin, how was your week, man?
Oh man, super busy, but it was good. So I'm glad to be here. I'm gonna throw a link to Wrench and the Bolts out there in the chat. If you're not subscribed to Wrench and the Bolts, you should definitely go check his channel out.
Awesome.
Yeah, you should.
Good deal. So we got a bunch of topics tonight, maybe, possibly. We'll see. I do have one, so we'll get to that here shortly. Let's see. There we go. There's Mario.
What's up, Battle Bean?
Hello, everybody.
All right. Who's saying the pledge tonight?
Battle Bean.
All right, guys. Hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Very nice, sir. Very nice. Thank you. How you doing, man?
I'm here. I'm here, bro. Just that was a hard week for me, because I lost a really good friend of mine on May 25th, and then top of that, Memorial Day, so it's like a double whammy for me. So, but I'm here.
I figured. I don't know you lost someone on the 25th, but actually, I think you texted me. I think you did text me that. But yeah, it's definitely a hard day for you. I know that, brother. All right, so let's get into it. So Matt threw out a video here this past week. Some of you may have saw it, and if you haven't, go watch it. But he threw out a video with a good topic of open carry versus concealed carry. Why the myths, the whys of what to do and what not to do, all that kind of stuff. People freak out, this, that, the other. I thought it'd be a good topic to talk about because when I first started carrying, I started with open carry. I rarely carry inside the waistband, generally because it's hard to find good holsters for me. I've got 2 so far that have been working okay, but for the most part, I always carry outside the waistband. So I figured it'd be a good topic. So Matt, you want to kind of talk about that a little bit?
Well, the video, and for those of you guys who may not have seen it, it wasn't about saying one way is better than the other. It was more or less clarifying myths revolving around the two. Oftentimes, with anti-open carry guys, you hear things like you're going to be the first targeted, you're going to get your gun stolen, you're going to cause a fucking stampede, a freak out of people, it scares people all over the place, things like that. And there's just no data to back up those things that people say. There really isn't even a preponderance of news stories or videos that make it any of those things a realistic concern. Does that mean you're wrong for having those concerns? No. I mean, you do you. That's what the entire video is about. That the entire video at the end of the video is, if you don't like it, carry how you want to carry. If you do like it, awesome, good for you. But the one side, because it really is one side, needs to stop shitting on the other side for carrying how they want to carry. And that is the anti-open carriers really need to stop shitting on the people that do open carry, like Scotsman, who just does it. It's not like he's trying to make a statement and all this other stuff. That's pretty much what the video is about, is that there's an argument in the gun community of many, many arguments. But this is one that really doesn't have a basis in reality to even have an argument. If you want to argue this light against that light, there's at least data sheets, for lumens and candela and battery life and all that you can go off of. If you want to go off of this gun and that gun, there's at least data sheets and popularity and use of professional use and whatnot. So there's at least data. The whole open carry versus concealed carry argument, there's just no data or evidence to support the arguments of anti-open carriers. And it's just one of those poisons that has infected the gun community.
So let's take one of your first comments. Sorry, excuse me. I'm going to go through the room on this. Has any of you experienced someone trying to take your firearm from you when you are open carrying? Daniel.
No, never. And I'm about 30% of the time I'll be open carry, with 70% of the time I'm concealed carry. So around here, it's no big deal. Everybody, go ahead.
Of course, this bars war zones. Actual conflict, combat. Go ahead. Sorry. I just wanted to put that out there.
And the only time I ever heard anything where somebody might have said negative to somebody open carrying is when my son just got his concealed carry license, and he just happened to be, his jacket got up over the gun, so the gun's out in the open. But, he's got his carry concealed card, and it's a constitutional carry state. So either way is good. He's at the gas pump getting gas, and there's about 4 other people there getting gas. And this woman starts going off on him, how he's part of the problem, guns and those like that there, how dare he, be flashing the gun. It's in the holster on his side. And all the other people there at the gas pump kind of look over, and it's like, what's the problem? She's giving me a crap because I'm carrying a gun. Everybody else there at the pumps pulls their shirt up and shows the woman, and they go over, oh, New York license plate. She's a tourist going through. Yeah.
All right, Jamie.
Okay.
No one has ever tried to take a gun from me, period. Whether it be particularly open carry, but I have been told that by open and carry like that, if a situation arises, that I'll be the first target, and I'm okay with that. I really am. I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem being the first target. So, yeah.
Jamie open carry saying, "I wish a motherfucker would."
Make my day.
Jamie's like me. Jamie likes to carry big bore.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was at the time I was carrying a 1911, and guy told me that I'll be the first target, and they'll try to get me without shooting me, sneaking up behind me or something like that. I'm like, that's okay, man. It's all right, really. But no,
All right.
never tried to take a gun from me.
Kingpin?
Well, I live in Maryland, so carrying isn't a thing for me. But I've never seen anyone have a gun taken from them out of their holster. I have been in situations where I've seen people pointing guns at someone, and the person that they were pointing the gun at just took the gun from them. So I've never once ever seen anyone steal a gun from someone's holster, but about 10 times I've seen someone just take it out of someone else's hands.
Okay. Yep. Good point. Good point. Battle Bean?
Back in the early 2000s, we could open carry in California, but not anymore. Over here is frowned upon because, people are liberal and idiots and don't know any different. Where I live, we don't have that problem. But as you start getting towards higher population areas like LA, the Bay Area, yeah, they even if you have a concealed carry permit, you're always kind of be careful as to where you go. If you brand any kind of weapon, you're just going to have all kinds of heat. And in many cases, it might be something just simple. But depending on where you go and what jurisdiction you're in, it's going to cause problems. When I go to LA, I have a tendency of off carrying my weapon, usually carried and I know it's not the right answer, but I just try to prevent any kind of branding of my weapon. So I'll carry it like in the bag or something like that. And I know it's not the right answer, but sometimes, if you still want to carry, you got to do those things because, they're just so anti-gun in LA. But my thing is, the state granted me a concealed carry permit, and I'm going to take advantage of it, and I'm still going to use it. I just have to be a little more careful as to where I go and how they perceive you,
Can I address 3 of those things?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, and I had addressed this I'm glad there's 3 of them right in a row. Mario, I'd mentioned that in the video. As far as people being freaked out or scared, calling the cops, whatever. If you live in New York or LA, or in this case, maybe Maryland, but Chicago, some of these big anti-gun places, then I get it. Like, and again, this is not me saying you should or shouldn't, one way or the other, just addressing the internet's concerns. And if you live in a place like Mario does, or go frequent those places, I totally wouldn't an open carry either, because there's nutballs over there. And they will call the cops on you, and they will freak out. And Kingpin, he mentioned something, but I related it to cops. In most cases where somebody gets their gun taken from them, it is the police, but it's only after they've unholstered their pistol. And so, and Kingpin is he's talking about basically the same thing. And now the one that I always the getting targeted first is the one that probably makes me laugh the most. And I mentioned it in the video is we as gun people generally say an armed place is not a place, a known armed place. A place known for having guns is a place that bad guys will not target. But that is apparently
a hard target.
Yeah, that is apparently a fact that just goes away if you're open carrying. All of a sudden, not only will they target it, they will target you specifically. That it just doesn't make sense to me.
Yep, I'm gonna bust in the door and you're up first. Yeah, I like hearing that one. Go ahead,
you can be a hard target or you can be a soft target. If you are a known hard target, they're not going to mess with you. They're going to go somewhere else.
I got a quick question.
Okay.
When you're talking open carry, now we're talking open carry is going to be outside the waistband, right? And the gun is visible. So say you put on a jacket which just happens to cover your gun. Are you still considering that open carry, or would that you can give me the legal answer and then your opinion as well? Because I'm sure once it's covered, then it's concealed.
And it varies. The laws vary state to state too.
Yeah, the laws vary state to state. And I think it was at one point in time in Ohio, if you were open carrying, which is perfectly legal without a permit, and I did it for many years there. If you I have a shirt like this on, right, and I have it tucked behind the gun. Say the shirt's not tucked in, just the tail on this side is behind the gun, so it's completely open. I reach up on the top shelf for something at the grocery store, put my arm back down, it covers the gun. Generally speaking, most times a cop, especially if they see that happen, will be like, you're not intentionally concealing. But once you can't see the gun from three sides, it's considered concealed. And in my video, I do mention that. I had a shirt like this on. I always wear these flannels. And just like Light Fighter just said, an outside the waistband with an overshirt over it is legally and, in my opinion, concealed.
Because that's how usually.
Let's clarify what the Light Fighter said. He said flannel. He's all about the flannel. Nothing wrong with that. Go ahead, Daniel.
LAPG flannels. These are the best ones on the market.
And like here in Ohio and stuff, when people are carrying concealed, that's how they do it. They'll have a T-shirt on and have an outside the waistband and have a long shirt like a flannel to hide the any kind of imprinting, and that's how they carry. That's all I was going to say. Thank you.
So I want to kind of bring something up that I've kind of been noticing, and there seems to be a trend. Have you guys noticed there's a lot of workplace violence? We heard about a couple of incidents this past couple of weeks. About one was at FedEx facility, and I think not too long ago there was another incident in the workplace. And I noticed that a lot of civilian companies frown upon, their employees being armed. Now, but in reality, they're not doing anything to improve the safety of those that work there, especially when you have disgruntled employees who have been fired. And it seems to me like that's the trend here. So I just wanted to get you guys' take on that. And what do you think we should do?
I think the first thing that you got to accomplish, which is probably the hardest task of all, and all of us have had people say this to us, if everybody's got a gun, somebody's going to step on somebody's shoe and start killing people. Somebody's going to borrow somebody's pen and not give it back, and they're going to get shot for it. The kind of stuff people say about that. If somebody's got a gun, then instead of just being angry, they're going to pull out guns and start shooting. That's the hurdle that you got to, if you can't figure out how to get over that part of the hurdle, then it doesn't matter what kind of rules and regulations you put down, because there won't be any, because somebody's going to say, if Scotsman's got a gun and I take his lunch, he's going to shoot me.
See, and that's part of the problem, man. Like where I work, there's a lot of liberal people in the offices, put it that way. Me trying to explain it to them wouldn't be worth my time.
You'll never get rules or regulations done until you can figure out how to do that, because they're going to vote against you and be loud and obnoxious about it, because they're afraid, because they think, I parked in your parking spot, now you're going to come over to my part of the factory and shoot me.
Yep.
After I retired and I was delivering auto parts. And, it's like, you got Napa, Advance and stuff. And it's like a corporate comes out from corporate that the employees are not allowed to carry, their personal firearms or anything. That's coming down corporate. Now at the local store, it's a personal decision. You really don't advertise, and you got to know and trust the people you work with. But we had, when I was at Advance, 7 Advance stores got robbed within a 2-week period. And one morning before the hours, and the drivers were out there going over there, getting our vehicles ready, and a car's sitting out there. And he's still sitting out there. 2 guys were sitting in the car 40 minutes after the store opened. There were 3 of us drivers out there in the parking lot just watching them. And all 3 of us were armed, and we were armed daily. So it's just one of those things, you make a personal choice on that. If you get fired, hey, you get fired.
Well, generally, too, if you're someone who carries on a regular basis, you probably have a little bit more mental capacity to understand you're probably not going to go there first. If something happens, you try to take the best route possible, which is not always the gun.
Well, that car turned around and left and went towards the other town near here, and an Advance store got robbed 30 minutes later. That's what I was talking about. You can be a hard target or a soft target. If it comes to a corporate or whatever, that's a personal choice, and you're willing to accept the risk. I'd rather be tried by 12 men than carried by 6.
Exactly, 100%.
Well, the problem in that theory, though, is the quote unquote bad guy shoots up the FedEx and he runs. And maybe he gets caught, maybe he doesn't. Maybe he gets shot by the cops, maybe he doesn't. Maybe he crashes the getaway car, maybe he doesn't. When the good guy defends FedEx, he puts his gun on the ground, puts his hands on his head, and waits for the cops to show up. And then does 25 years in prison.
No, he gets fired. He gets fired, that's it.
You don't get fired for killing someone.
No, you will, if you carry, if you are in a good shoot, if you're saying, okay, you got a perpetrator coming in and shooting people, and you pull out your personal firearm and shoot them,
you're going to defend yourself in court.
Yeah, you defend if you are in a fear for your life or great injury or somebody else's life, or that they're going to get great bodily injury done to them. That's when you pull. You don't pull just to flash a gun.
I'm not trying to deter the good guy from standing up and doing what's needed to be done. I'm just saying, legally, the bad guy gets away with it a whole bunch of time, and the good guy stays there and faces the problem, and generally doesn't work out for the good guy. Yeah. In Maryland, you shoot somebody, you're going to see the inside of a prison cell no matter what. Now, how long you sit in there, or jail cell, we'll say, because prison's a different thing. How long you sit in there is going to be determined by whether or not you can prove that you did everything you could to run away and hide before you pulled the trigger. In regular normal states, you might have a little bit of more security when you pull out your firearm to defend yourself or defend the people around you. But there's a lot of people that try to do the right thing and do the right thing and still don't win in court.
And that's why you want to join the Gun Owners of America. If you get involved in a shoot, you get legal representation.
That's what I was saying about defending yourself. You know, you're still the good guy, so you're going to go to court with a lawyer, and that lawyer is not going to represent you for free.
Okay, talking about a crowd of people, everybody there carries, you know, and people get mad and they start shooting up the place. But that ain't going to happen, man. That's it's been my experience anyway. When we're around a bunch of fellow gun guys that we know all have guns, it's very very polite society. Put it that way.
No. I'd say, and let me ask you guys this too. So for most of us, if we're in a room with a whole bunch of other guys that are carrying, we're usually all fairly comfortable, right? Everyone say, yeah, in agreement, fairly comfortable with other people, like if you know them.
I've seen Daniel shoot. I don't know how comfortable I am.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Why do you think I'm always standing at the back when he's shooting? I'm standing behind my truck.
Do you have like ballistic shields and all that? Like,
well, all of us go to the range with strangers. Even if you go with a bunch of your friends, most of the people at the range that day, you don't know who they are. But you don't feel scared that you're going to get popped while you're sighting in your rifle or, you know, practicing with your pistol.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of my point is we're around people a lot that carry and shoot and all the rest of it. And, you know, again, polite society. Armed society is polite society. We generally don't ever have any issues.
Well, not saying that you're not going to have somebody who doesn't shoot that much that handles the firearm improperly and muzzles people. I've seen that at the range, at training and stuff so many times. And I educate them. I don't care if I hurt their feelings.
That's the biggest thing. And I was going to talk about that too, as far as the open carry piece. If someone does approach you when you're open carrying, educate them. Educate them. Tell them why. Explain it to them. Explain your rights to them. And, you know, that's the best thing we can do. Instead of getting on the offensive and freaking out, explain to them what's going on. Explain to them why you're doing that.
And then invite them to go to the range with you.
Exactly.
Oh, and you know, when people know that you shoot and reload and stuff it gets you moved ahead of the line to get your camper repaired or your car fixed. I used that last week and stuff. I had an issue with a slide out on my camper, and the guy's wife was saying, "Oh, it's got about 3 to 4 weeks before we can get you in." That was like on Monday. Thursday afternoon, the guy calls, says it's done. It's all fixed, tells me what it was. And because I told the wife, hey, I reload. You want some, if your husband needs some 9mm, I have no problem with giving up bribes or if he needs a place to shoot. So, boom, you're talking just a couple of days.
Daniel up there bribing people with ammo. There you go.
It works. Tracy, I told Tracy that the day I said, I talked to the guy's wife, I told her that I give bribes of ammo and places to shoot. She laughed. My wife thought I was nuts. Yeah, she's seen how it was nuts. Job got done quick.
And time to go camping for Memorial Day, right, Daniel?
And didn't even go.
Ouch. I got 2 sets of friends at the lake right now. And, y'all have fun. Okay, back to the original question. I prefer to carry outside the waistband. And I'm like some of you guys. I feel like I can at least semi-conceal outside the waistband. But when you, like what Matt was talking, when you raise your arms and stuff at the store and stuff like that, it's going to get exposed. And I don't worry a whole lot about that because most of our holsters nowadays are very retentive. If that makes sense, they're going to just about have to knock you out of the way to get the pistol out of the holster.
And that was one of the other things I want to talk about too. Is so we're talking about how potentially someone could come take your firearm. Most holsters these days, good holsters, will have some kind of retention on there, and unless you pull straight up and out, you're probably not getting that gun out.
Yeah, even passive retention holsters, like most of your Kydex outside the waistband that don't have a hood, that don't have a button, something like the Bravo concealments that I carry, or just any of them, any of the basic, front and back pressed belt loops, passive retention Kydex holsters. Those, they're made, as long as they're generally decent quality. If it has a cant on it, or if it's up straight up and down, I mean, you're not pulling that thing out at angles, at least very easily. You got to pull it out at the direction that it's built for, or at least in that general direction. And then you have these GLS and ALS holsters from Safariland, which one has a middle finger retention button, active retention button, and the other one has the thumb retention button for your active retention holsters. And they don't have to be giant holsters like I wear on my leg. These are still smaller, hip carry. You can cover them with a shirt like this type holsters.
But you also have to take into consideration that a pickpocket is a rare person. Somebody who can get your wallet out of your pants, and no matter how tight your pants are without you knowing, there's not a whole ton of those people walking around. That's a skill you have to master. So then you're also taking out of the consideration that when you walk up to a guy the size of RT and start trying to take his gun, he's going to hit you with that giant hammer he's got attached to his wrist. It's not like you're just going to say, "Oh, you got my gun." You're going to fight. So they've got to fight you to get your gun out of you.
Yeah, and see, that's my other thing too with that whole thing is, when someone's in your personal space. When someone's within that realm of you should. Yeah, you should. You should know when someone's in that area. Where I work, a lot of times, one of the guys I work with will end up coming up behind me because of some of the presses we work on. Obviously we face in one direction. So, but you got to realize when he's coming up behind you. You got to have that sense, be ready for something coming. So, understand that, it's going to happen fast, but if you know your surroundings and pay attention to what's going on, you should be okay.
Which is something that I addressed in the video as well. I'm actually glad we're doing the long form of this, because, in a 3 or 7 minute video, or whatever that was, I mean, you just kind of rattle through the things, and, people really don't have time to talk the things over and think about it. But, like I said, the video, you should have situational awareness. If you're just standing in line at McDonald's or at Walmart or something like that, whatever, something that's not super crowded, you should be easily, you should be able to walk back out to your car and recite who was 3 people in front of you and 3 people behind you and in the lanes next to you. You should damn near be able to tell a complete stranger what the person in front of you paid with, if you're paying attention. But if you go to a concert where you're nut to butt, shoulder to shoulder with somebody, with 1,000 people, common sense says a passive retention outside the waistband holster openly carrying is probably not the smartest thing to do.
No,
exactly. And that brings up a really good point, is be smart about it. Be smart about how you carry. Where you're going. Be smart about it.
You think the FBI trains their agents to do backflips while they're carrying?
That's a great thing, man. I've only ever seen it once.
Yeah, I saw it once too. It didn't seem to go too well.
That was a wedding reception, wasn't it?
I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't do stupid shit.
Yeah, do yourself better than just sticking a revolver in the back of your britches. Which is what all the bad guys do on TV, and including Walking Dead. The guy's got a 686 in his back of his belt.
You can always go deep concealment and do like a Derringer in the prison wallet.
Oh,
Daniel got it.
All right, let's go. Let's check the good old fashioned television show where you just put your regular pants and your belt on and you stuff it in between your belt and your body. How is that not a decent carry? I get it. I'm talking about your regular everyday carry. You're not going to run. You're not going to be doing exercise, and you're just going to work and doing your regular everyday thing. What's so bad about carrying like that? I get, and I understand the first thing will be the triggers exposed.
I think
it's just going to drop out. There's no retention. It's going to
drop out, but that's the biggest thing is the triggers exposed. Or you have a lot of opportunity to have an accident.
But Daniel was talking about the retention. You don't think that would be fine for retention to go on your basic day, Daniel?
No, because you know how many times when I was playing basketball and in the big cities out on the streets when I was taking the teens out on mission trips and you get pickup games, how many times pistols fell out of the kids' shorts while they're playing basketball? There ain't no retention.
I've tried carrying like that. And the gun just flops. I mean, it moves all over the place. It doesn't matter what position I put it in. I mean, I suppose if I put my belt like a girdle or something, it wouldn't. But yes, the trigger cover, covering the trigger. I mean, there's a number of things that a holster's, good at protecting the gun from you, protecting you from the gun, as far as pinch points and rust and sweat and whatnot. Trigger covering, trigger safety, and then one of the big ones that people don't seem to realize is that a holster just keeps it in that one place all the time. Like it doesn't slide around your hip or cock this way or cock that way or cock this way as you're walking down the street. If I try to small the back carry a pistol, that thing will be down the leg of my pants in a second,
Oh, let alone the draw. We practice our draw. I mean, pull the shirt up, reach down, and get the gun. If you're just tucking it inside belt, you're not going to have a smooth draw at all. You're just going to be flopping around, hit the trigger, cause damage.
Back when men were men, you could take your left arm, put it behind your back, and hold your duster out of the way while you draw your Colt single.
I mean, if at the end of the day, honestly, assuming you have decent control of your firearm, right? Assuming you, for whatever reason, you're built right, you have the right belt tension, whatever. I nobody on this panel or out in the chat room or anybody has the right to say you're doing it wrong. It's only when you lose control of your gun that I think anybody could possibly have the right to say otherwise.
As long as you're aware of what you're doing and do it safely, it's not for us to say. It's not, Okay. Yeah, it could be. You might be doing it in a really stupid way, and we'll probably call your ass out on it, just for shits and giggles.
That's what we do.
So long as you're doing it in the safe way, in a safe manner, and you know what you're doing, it's on you.
The best gun to carry and the best way to carry it is the way that's the most comfortable and most accessible to you, because that gun is doing you no good at home by the bed.
Get a Glock.
I agree. Get a glove.
Oh, yeah. Now, one thing as far as reliability with a gun, if you don't clean your gun, you're a fool, because it's not going to do you any good not knowing how to take your gun apart and clean it, put it together when you need it, and it's all full of lint because all you do is pocket carry, and the gun has accumulated all that pocket lint in there. It won't fire. I've seen 3 people for 4 years in a row. Every time they go to do qualifications, for church security, their gun won't fire. We take it apart. It's full of pocket lint.
So what I just heard is that maybe because of your choice of firearm, you need to tear your gun apart maybe more often than I do to clean it in order to have it function right.
No, see, not necessarily.
Damn Czechoslovakian weapons, I swear.
No, not necessarily.
Oh,
so
no.
Daniel cleans his guns a lot more often than I do. But you got to remember this: Daniel's retired. Daniel has nothing better to do than sit around, reload, shoot all day, and clean guns.
And mow the yard. I mow the yard. I help the wife with the goats. I do laundry and dishes.
There's been times with a couple of my CZs, I've probably had at least a few thousand before I've gone through and cleaned them. And I know Daniel's cringing because that's,
I grew up. If you touch a gun, you clean it before it goes back.
Yeah, that's the way I was raised.
Me too,
I can't
man.
remember the last time I cleaned my 19X. I really can't. If I open that thing up, it probably looks like a Weber grill in there.
So what I just heard from 2 Glock people is they're lazy and they don't give respect to their guns by taking care of them and cleaning them. That's what I just heard.
Hey.
I'm not going to argue with you. I mean, it just works. Why? It's sort of like if I don't care that my grass is long, it doesn't mean it doesn't need mowed. It just I'm not going to do it.
You ain't got grass. You have no grass. You live in a desert.
I mean, if it doesn't need it, it doesn't need it.
All right, so let's pick apart some of this topic some more. So Matt, throw in another one of.
So we just did the people gonna sneak up and take your gun. We sort of covered the. Well, actually, we kind of got into a lot of things there all at once. But another one is the losing the element of surprise. That one is another one that sort of makes me laugh because it again flies in the face of. If bad guys know a place is armed, then according to you, I'm just as a general gun owner group of people, according to you, he's not going to target that place. So how would you lose that element of surprise? Go.
That's an excellent point. Generally, most armed places are less likely to be a target. Less likely. Not saying it's not going to happen, but it's less likely. Now, as far as the element of surprise, unless they know specifically who's armed and who isn't armed, you're really not going to lose that element of surprise.
And I kind of do. The whole element of surprise thing sort of bothers me a little bit because what you're telling me is that you're waiting to be. I mean, I don't want the element of surprise. I mean, if I'm setting up an ambush for somebody, of course I want the element of surprise. But if I'm standing in line at Walmart, who am I ambushing? Like that's the only. It just says to me that you're looking to shoot someone.
Yeah, you get into this situation, you're not expecting this situation. So the element of surprise is really on you itself.
I say who you need to ambush. You need to ambush that asshole that took the last fucking burrito out of the frozen section. You need to kill that motherfucker. Insane.
You should thank that guy getting that 7-Eleven last hot dog or burrito. These things need to go.
I was going to say, the wife doesn't make them for you?
that's a good point, Miss Kitty. It's like if the person is desperate enough and the reward is great enough, somebody's going to try to do it. I mean, that's what uh, all these caper movies are about. You know, like The Italian Job, Ocean's 11, those kind of movies. Yeah, that's what all that's about.
Well, people, I think.
and
Go ahead, Daniel.
well, I was just going to say, I want to make sure I never go to Sunday dinner over at Mario's house.
Yeah, no doubt.
Grab that last burrito, you're in trouble.
Well, you beat him in another tanning contest, and you're probably not going to get an invitation.
I'm tanning right now.
I think a lot of people just instantly go to that Ocean's 11 thing. That every single bad guy out there has got this deep, intricate plot of the school that they're going to go shoot up or the bank that they're going to go rob. Or that's barely ever. Most of the stuff is fly by the seat of your pants stuff. And yeah, I'm sure that they know their office building's unarmed. I'm sure they know that the airport's unarmed and stuff like that. So they're not really worried about it. But I'd also say at that point in time in their lives, they probably don't care either. Because a lot of these places that get shot up to, there's a lot of armed people there and end up doing what they got to do. But, the person was still angry enough and, determined enough to go there and shoot. So you got both options there. The person that is going to come in and scope out the fair and look and count how many open carriers are there, you're probably all going to get clipped anyway because that guy knows what he's doing.
Well, that guy is the guy in the 32nd story of a hotel room, probably shooting down on that group of people anyway. I mean,
yeah,
people. I think there's a lot of people, and it's been discussed with the Ocean's 11 thing and Heat and whatnot. People have a very Hollywood sensationalized view of bad guys. And this in gun circles and non-gun circles, it's very much the same. The vast majority of people that are ever going to attack you that don't know you, I should say, because the vast majority of people that you have an altercation with are people you know. You take those out of the picture. The other part are people that have no interest in fighting. They have no interest in an altercation with somebody that can hold them responsible for it. They want a victim, right? They don't want to work for this thing. That's why they're thieves. They don't want to work for that prize, and they're going to be methed out, wackos. These are not highly skilled people in the head that are, getting the layout of the building and knowing which air duct system to crawl through and the exact timing of the vault door. And
your average criminal does not do that. Your average criminal is going, okay, I'm running in there and I'm going to do this and hope the hell it works.
Yeah,
that's your average criminal.
Your average criminal is really not a gun guy. And now, okay, panel, I'm going to ask you a question. You go into a gas station and on your way in, you see a guy that's got a gun tucked into his belt in the pants. Are you going to be on high alert with that person or not high alert on that person?
Regardless, no matter where I go, I see someone else carrying them, I was alert to what's going on. I'm not, again, come back to being aware of your situation, your surroundings. Always be aware no matter what.
Yeah, be aware, but I would be on more. I'd be more high alert on a guy that's just tucked it inside his belt and not in a holster, walking into a gas station. Because,
but again, you don't know his situation.
No, Daniel's right though. Daniel's right. You got to pay attention to that because normal common sense thinking. If we're going to go to that term, law-abiding citizen. A law-abiding citizen is going to put a holster on and have a gun belt and, have it concealed or whatever the deal is. And it's not harmful that if you see a guy with a pair of sweatpants on and it tied to the little thing on the string on his sweatpants, it probably wouldn't hurt you to pay attention to what he's doing while you're there.
Maybe he's just claiming his Chevron reward points.
So
maybe he's there
so.
to shoot you in the face.
So I think we've all been there at the range, and there's always that one guy where, you know, you got the one guy, for example, has the Uncle Mike's holster, the biggest gun he can have, and it's flopping everywhere. He's still being somewhat responsible and have it in the holster, but you don't know the situation.
Yeah, but see, that's at a range, and that guy is a jerk. This is out in public. This is out in public where you have no idea who that guy is standing in front of you. You just know that the dummy's got his gun stuffed into his socks while he's wearing flip-flops.
Yeah, but you never know.
So,
right, you never know, but it doesn't hurt to pay attention to what that guy's doing.
No, that's what I was. Yeah.
So the guy with this, you know, this guy with the gun tucked in his waist. I can tell you that if you put a little holster like this on, right, and this is a inside the waistband tuckable holster,
Mm-hmm.
so all you can see of it is this, right? If I put this in my pants, front of my pants, appendix carry, stick a gun in it, I promise you, it looks like I just have a gun in my pants. You know,
I was going to say there are some very deep concealment holsters. You're not going to know.
So I would probably default to what do they call it? Not stereotypes. Well, stereotypes, but I would default to
not trusting your gut and ended up getting yourself shot.
No, I would default to God, there's a word I'm looking for, and I just can't think of what it is. When you see somebody, you judge them based on what you're seeing. And it's not stereotype, it's something else.
Preconceived notions.
Yeah, but
let me give you a quick scenario. It's like you saw my ass in Home Depot. Automatically, you're thinking I'm working the fucking parking lot.
I see your ass at Home Depot. I'm going to try to hire you.
He might be there picking up lawnmower.
Might be offended. But like, oh my God, are you totally serious? I'm just here for some freaking fertilizer.
Profiling.
God.
Ghost Rider got it. Profiling. I would absolutely default to profiling. Honestly. If a guy, somebody will take this and clip this out and play it in a different video someday. I promise you they will, just to say something negative about me. But if a guy walks in and has a tuck holster like this on, and he happens to have his suit jacket off, but he still has his tie on and his white shirt tucked in, and you can just see the gun sticking out, right? I'm not going to care. Some punk gangbanger walks in with baggy pants on, same setup, I'm going to care.
Yeah,
So
no,
you're
keep you alive.
saying if I go to the Men's Warehouse and look really good, you're not gonna think otherwise, is what you're saying.
Hold on. We're talking about Battle Beam looking really good.
Yeah, I mean, Battle Beam probably owns a suit.
Hey man, I got
He's out there doing job interviews.
I'm there, man. You know, I went to Men's Warehouse. You know, they gave me the military discount. It's all good, baby.
Yeah, but do they really consider the waiter outfits a suit?
Well, I mean, think about this. And Matt brings up a good point. We're profiling every day. Everywhere you go, you're looking around, you're looking at people, you're profiling everyone you're looking at. You may not think it to yourself, but you are.
Yeah, man. They think you're fucking white ISIS and shit. Fucking 6'4" with that big ass beard.
I mean, anybody who's been in a combat zone over in the sand knows that profiling works.
Yes, it does.
Yep. Profiling does work. So
some people call it racist or whatever. No, it just profiling works. If you look like a clean cut dude, right? This is one of the things that I when I see it like on a cop show and it's profiling is what prevents attacks. Exactly, light fighter. Some guy got, his underwear sticking out, pants down past his ass, wife beater on, and the cops have stopped him because he happens to match the other 95% of people who committed a crime that night in Cleveland, and they're like, I didn't do anything wrong. It's like, dude, it is the way you look. And you know that by when you got dressed that day. It's the way you look.
Why is it when as soon as you said they had a wife beater on, I thought of Josh Benware?
But it's true though. You think about it, and that's exactly what we all do. We all do it. We may not do it so consciously that we've done it so much that you don't think about it anymore. It's just an automatic response.
When you're walking down the street, the dark street, when you're walking down a dark street and two guys that look like they could be gangbangers are walking towards you, if you're not on high alert, you're a fucking idiot. And it doesn't matter. They could be two saints that just happen to be doing casual Friday,
Yep.
Been there, had that happen. And those kids were only 13 or 14 years old.
All right. Any more comments on element of surprise? All right. Throw another one out there, Matt.
Another one would be, we kind of covered a couple of them just real quickly, but another one would probably be the, you're just out to make a statement. You're just out to make a statement. You're being a douchebag. You just want attention. And go.
All right, Jamie, you're up.
Up yours, buddy. I work for Mel Brooks.
Oh, you're talking about those guys that want to do the 2A, carry an AR-15 into Walmart kind of guys?
No.
Making a statement?
You do what you do every day and somebody says that about you.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of people out there, and I lost a lot of respect for Pat McNamara, in fact, for a statement he made about just open carry on your hip, like what we're talking about. He has his little series of basic dude stuff. I don't know if you ever seen it. I'm sure some of you out there have. He called open carry basic douche stuff, and it's like, dude, you teach classes with open carry. You walk around your own classes with a Kydex passive retention holster on. It's in every one of your videos. I lost a lot of respect for Pat McNamara when he made that video. But yeah, we're talking about basic, just same thing we've been talking about, Daniel. So just like Jamie said, same thing we've been talking about. Not guys that put body armor on and go walk into Walmart with an AR, which I don't shit on those people, by the way. Some of you guys might. I don't. Flex your rights. Do it. I don't care. But that's not who we're talking about.
I have a story about this particular scenario. My Uncle Tony served 2 duties in Vietnam. Then he came home. He got into business. He was in sales and watched the news, all that kind of stuff, So there for a while, we were having family breakfast at the first Saturday of every month at a local restaurant here in town. And my dad's side of the family, the Howells, would get together and we would have breakfast together and talk. Well, I was carrying inside the waistband that particular day and raised my heart, reached for something, and he was sitting beside me, and I settled back in my seat, and now this is a Vietnam vet, and this shocked me. He said, "Jamie, are you carrying a gun?" I'm like, "Yes, sir." And he's like, "What the hell you think you need a gun for?" And I'm like, "What the hell do you think I don't for?" You know? And he said, "Well, I guess you got an AR-15 at home, don't you?" And I said, "No, sir, I don't." He said, "Well, that surprises me. Walking right carrying a gun in here." I said, "As a matter of fact, I have 3 or 4 of them." He's like, "They ain't nobody needs an AR-15 at their house." I'm like, "It's not up to you to decide what I need. And it ain't about what I need. It's about I have a right to have it that you fought for. And I want it. I have the right to have it. I have it. Period." This is a member of my own family who is a veteran, and I don't want to say anything bad about the man. He has passed away and gone on to his reward at this point, but he dressed me down for carrying a gun to breakfast.
But I also think that the other aspect to the story is that maybe he felt that because of what he saw in Vietnam, that we had become a society where we didn't need to do the things that he had to do in order for whatever he did in Vietnam, and that might be his thinking. But I think also it could have been to a point that for him is that once he left Vietnam, it was like it's over in his life. Maybe he doesn't want to ever touch a firearm anymore, stuff like that. And, maybe he was bitter. I mean, there could be a lot of aspects to this because I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I didn't pick up a firearm, until my own life was at risk, really, because we had this fucking wacko that was following service members, and I happened to catch a glimpse of the dude. Make a long story short, and since then, that's when I bought my first firearm, and ever since then, I felt like I needed to have one, so I did what I had to do. But I don't know, maybe that's the perspective he's got. Not really sure, but I'm glad that you were able to give your thoughts about it, because maybe he wasn't really thinking about it, to be honest with you.
Yeah. We're about halfway through. Ballamine, you have the side chat pulled up?
Yes, sir.
If you wouldn't mind, sir, you mind going through it?
Yes, sir. All right. We have Uncle Jim. We have Great Note, the Light Fighter Collective, Uncle John, Poco Loco, AR-776. Of course, we have RTT on the panel, Lakeview Outdoors, Armament and Access, Firearms 101. We have Kingpin in the panel, and Light Fighter Collective, Dorzax. And let me just continue to go through here. We got Mystic Guns is out there. Fuzz Fork is out there. AR Guns 1776. Balls and Curious is out there. And Uncle John. New York Outcast. Michael Ray. Ghost Rider USA. That's pretty much all I have right now, sir. But if anybody missed anybody, please go ahead and Wes is out there as well. If you guys want to say hi, make sure that we count you. Ron T. Sawyer's out there. And I think that's pretty much it, sir.
All right. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. All right. So, like I said, we are about halfway through. I did want to take a moment, and it is Memorial Weekend. I want to remind everyone out there it is not about sales. There's tons of sales going on, but it's not about sales. Take the time to remember those that have fought for your freedom, and make sure to thank a veteran if you see them, and shake their hand. They may not want it, but I'll always thank a veteran regardless. And if they get pissy about it, they get pissy about it. It is what it is. but I like to show my thanks and appreciation. Don't forget, Justice Final Mission is out there. If you want to help prevent veteran suicide, for those that have come back and are struggling, please jump over and help donate over there as well.
On Memorial Day, here's my personal view is it. Yeah, I get pissy about it because someone thanks me because I'm not the one that died out there. But a lot of us, I mean, many of us veterans have lost brothers and sisters out there, and they're the ones, this is their day. I don't do the cookout and all that there. It's just so I spend time with my family and being thankful that I got home to them. Veterans, we got our own day. It's called Veterans Day. This day is for those that bled out on the field.
Yep, absolutely.
Can I say something real quick? Uncle John, I call bullshit. Sorry. Anyway, yeah, Memorial time to, we don't, and I've done it forever, but it hit me this weekend that saying Happy Memorial Day is not something that should come out of our lips.
Man, there's so many times I wanted to go off on people saying that to me today, but I'm trying not to, man. I swear to God. But yeah, there's nothing happy about Memorial Day.
So I got it right then.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a time to remember those, man. You know, just sit back and take a moment and remember. And Art and Axes, yes, absolutely, we will here shortly. But yeah, absolutely, it's a time to remember those. Remember our friends that didn't come back, and a lot of us have those.
Yeah, it's a day of remembrance, of somber reflection, a time of true thanks, and a time to enjoy your family and the freedoms that we have in this country.
Light fighter, I was in Cedar City too, bro. I know how you feel.
Well, that's a rough one, man. All right, so with that, let's go ahead and do a moment of silence. If you guys want to leave your cameras on, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine as well. But let's go ahead and do a moment of silence. All right, thank you, gentlemen. Much appreciated. I hope you all out there joined us in that moment of silence. It's definitely a day of remembering, day to be thankful for all the freedoms that we do have. All right. So, Matt, do we have anything else left on the open carry versus concealed carry topic, or
nothing that we haven't covered? I don't think. I mean, we kind of got into with Kingpin and Mario places, that would freak out, but we already got into people's stories where they do carry and people don't freak out.
I've only ever had it happen once. I've only ever had it happen once. That's when I was up in Georgia. Grocery store I went to every day, almost every day. Walked in one day after work, and people at the checkout started freaking out. And the lady that worked the checkout come up and asked me about it. She's like, "You getting weird looks?" Yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm in here every day carrying a freaking gun. And some guy had shot himself in the parking lot about 2 hours earlier. So, but that's the only time I've really had any weird looks or anything like that. But yeah, it's rare.
It is. I mean, unless you're in one of these places, that guns are widely frowned upon, like in these liberal states, in these highly liberal cities, Baltimore and LA, San Diego, Chicago, New Orleans, St. Louis.
I mean, even like, going down to Cleveland or down to Columbus, Ohio's an open carry state, but they don't, it's less kind of, it's more frowned upon in the bigger cities.
See, I used to open carry in Columbus all the time.
No. I've never had an issue when I've been out there, but there's more frowned upon.
There's a video existing of me somewhere. I was at an open carry rally at the State House and in Columbus. And, right across the street from there is a Subway restaurant. And it was like February or March. It was sub-zero weather out. And I was cold and I was hungry and I had an AR. No, what did I have? I think I might have had an AK slung on me and walked in there. Not a person blinked an eye. I walked right across the street, walked right into Subway, bought a sandwich, took the gun off, sat it down in the booth next to me, ate my sandwich. Not one person blinked, sneezed, coughed, looked crooked. Man, they might have been terrified. I don't know. But of course, just 100 feet away across the street to the State House was 200 people, doing the same thing. So I'm sure it wasn't a big deal, but yeah, I'll never forget that.
Yeah. And I went up to PA a couple of years back. Kingpin was there with me and with a bunch of other guys. And same kind of thing. There was all kinds of people carrying and went to restaurants and no issues.
Now look, here's something to think about. And don't bother saying it to the other people because they don't care. This is just fun for us. You go to any 2A rally, and just like Scotsman says, Walter Davis walked in with a huge rifle. Everybody else had rifles and handguns and stuff on them, and the people at the little restaurant we went to didn't think nothing of it, didn't question, not concerned, no nervous, nothing. During one of these lefty Black Lives Matter rallies, you see a bunch of people come into your store with a gun, how do you think they're going to react? So the public already knows that the 2A isn't dangerous and violent with their guns. They know that the others are dangerous and violent.
Yeah, the ain't fucking around militia shoots themselves.
Yeah, there's no way. Everybody knows that. The shop owner knows when those dudes walk in with their guns, something bad's about to happen.
Yeah. So Bald and Curious has a question. Can you open carry if you're not a resident of that state? Generally, most states, if it's an open carry state, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I know you can here in Arizona, and I know you can in Ohio. I couldn't tell you about other states.
Yep. If I go to PA, open carry is fine. You know, it. In most
when
states,
I was in high school, and it wasn't.
Go ahead, Daniel.
When Jesus was there?
No, when I was in high school, and I'll tell you, I graduated in '83. In the morning announcements, the principal put out that somebody had a gun. Somebody had one of their guns stolen out of their truck in the parking lot at our sister school. So he put out there, anybody that's concerned about it can bring their guns in and put them in the office until they left the school at the end of the day. That way they know their deer hunting or squirrel hunting rifle's not going to get stolen. And no, they weren't muzzle loaders. But that's the difference. I mean, now all schools are gun free. We grew up taking our guns to school. My freshman year, I made a gun in shop class, and I got an A on it.
That many years, and you still can't shoot, huh?
Nah.
Get a Glock.
Now.
Hey, I had to.
Hey, you know what? I talk so much smack. I can take it. I can take it. And I'll tell everybody, I can't hit nothing.
You made a gun 234 years ago.
Yeah,
you still
I can't hit
shoot
nothing. I was in the barn and I missed every wall there was. I couldn't even hit the side of it.
From the inside. Seriously,
I'm just slow.
We had a show and tell in one of our drama classes when I was in high school, and I took my CVA muzzleloader kit that I was in the process of building, and that was my show and tell for the day. Well, it wasn't complete; it was still a kit, but it was still also a gun, firearm. That I built that from that kit, and it turned out great.
I took that CVA kit in, and it left the gun.
Yeah. And later that got stolen by a quote unquote friend, which kind of relates to what you guys were talking about earlier about if we have an armed confrontation, it's going to be with somebody that we know.
Matt, your thoughts
about armed confrontation with somebody that we know?
No, this comment.
No, about Glocks. About Glocks being
Glocks are skinnier high points. I agree. They're skinnier high points. They work. They're reliable. They're affordable. They're just skinnier.
Yeah, I own them all. I own a CZ and a Glock and everything. I just like giving Scotsman a hard time.
You don't give me a hard time. I don't give a shit. You like what you like.
Perfection.
But if you want perfection, right here, baby.
Hey, stop throwing your gang signs, all right? This is not the place for this.
Get a hammer, CZ, Mario.
No, I am going to get another CZ.
Armament and Axes, I graduated in 78. So, yeah, there were plenty of...
Man!
Get one with a hammer.
Freaking Easy Rider debut back in those days. Holy shit.
When he says 78, it's 78 BC.
All right, so check this out. Jamie, you see Jamie's beard, right? And he's got color in his hair, where I basically do not, right? I was born 1 year before he graduated.
Just for men. Just saying.
It wouldn't fool anybody now.
So what you're basically asking is, Jamie, can we get an explanation?
My dad is 80. Let's say he was born in 39. So, yeah, he is 83, 84. And he still has a head full of hair the same color as mine. So, yeah. And he can't grow a beard. His is all patchy and stuff. And but then there's my dad, my mom on her side of the family. My granddad had what we call the old man donut hair, bald on the top and has hair around the sides, And my mom got that same male pattern baldness from my granddad, and of course I got it too. But mine's just a little bit thicker than hers, and I got that from my dad. So yeah, I misspoke a while ago. I was reading Armand Nax's comment. His brother graduated in '78. I graduated in 1980. So in '78, I was a sophomore in the spring and a junior in the fall. So
Okay, so 3 years.
okay, 3 years.
It still plays the same. Still works the same. My days for just for men was probably 6 years ago when I still had a little bit of color in my beard. I probably could have started coloring it then and fooled people, and just left it like salt and pepper. But none of you guys are going to be shocked, none of you guys are going to be fooled that if on today's video I got snow white beard and on tomorrow's video all of a sudden there's color in it. It's like I'm not fooling anybody.
Right. And if I was going to do that, I would put color in my beard because my hair is my natural color. Of course, this beard is the natural color. So what you see is what you get. That's just the way it is.
What? All these people out in the chat room, you guys, I am 44 years old. Like, I'm not. It's like, holy crap, I'm older than you. Damn.
Double A says he has the donut hair. I call it reverse mohawk.
Hey, I'm 47. I'm fantastic looking. I just want y'all to know that.
Nobody's arguing the point about being the sexiest man on YouTube.
It's those damn eyebrows, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's those Dracula eyebrows. Hello, Danny. Hello, Daniel. What the fuck? All right.
All right. With that one, yeah. Ask Daniel. He's been doing a lot of horse trading recently.
And I hear he moisturizes his hands.
Horse trade. I'm just asking, am I buffering?
No, you're good now.
In the compound with Clyde. Okay. Mullets are making a comeback.
Yeah, it was like I was getting a lot of buffering out there, so I moved in.
Absolutely, the mullets are making a comeback.
I'm thinking about cutting my hair. Leaving the beard, but cutting my hair.
Whenever I wear my mullet freaking wig, man, I definitely look like the Mexican Greg Valentine. I don't know if you guys seen that. If you guys know who Greg Valentine is, Google it and you'll see. Go to one of those Uncle Jim videos that I made. I'm telling you, it's crazy.
He looks like Greg Valentine.
I was thinking Bruno San Martino.
Is he like a pro wrestler or something?
Yeah.
Wes looking fabulous in that picture. Got that Grizzly Adams look going on. I like it.
And everyone's tossing their ages out there.
Well, apparently everybody thought I was like 70. And so now it's like, I'm this old. I'm
far out. After all, remember what they say
The
about
sad thing is, when most of us retire from the military,
No, I have not. I try to grow my hair. Oh man, I'm just not into it, man. I like the aerodynamic look. I'm telling you, less work.
It's where it's at, man. Aerodynamics, dude.
Yeah, fool, but I'm by choice.
Yeah, well,
you can't get much less work than not doing anything with it at all. Like, I haven't had a haircut in a decade.
Man, I cut mine. I don't know. I probably cut mine about once every 6 weeks.
I am thinking about cutting it. I've been thinking about it for a couple of years now. Because now that it's all gray, it's now getting wiry, instead of when it actually had pigment. And so now it is getting to be harder to brush, harder to take care of.
So when you say you're thinking about cutting it, are you thinking about going like all the way up and chopping it, or what are you thinking?
No, just something, just not a buzz, not bald or buzz haircut or anything like that. Just enough hair to tuck under the hat,
like mine.
Yeah, I mean, probably. I mean, a mid-length, I guess. Something shaggy, something not so shaggy.
A little longer than mine.
A little longer than yours, yeah. You know how long it's been since I had?
what are we doing? We're going to start talking.
It's been since I got out of the Navy. It's been since I got out of the Navy that I had short hair. So I don't even know what I would want anymore. It's been so many years.
So we can, Daniel, if you want to talk hair care products, we can do that, especially since Kyle's here now, and he really likes that Duke Cannon soap. He gave me a bar, and I've been using it, and it's finally about to play out. He makes his own beard products, and his beard is just overtaking mine. So Kyle got it going on, and he's making some good beard products.
The only hair products I use is Barbasol and a Bic.
All right. So what else?
What else
are the people you guys got going on? We're starting to get kind of quiet here.
We can tell jokes about women.
Okay, I'm feeling a little bit. I have got to practice doing the side chat better. I mean, James Pollard picks on me back. You don't read as good as Chico does. And now Uncle John, since Pollard ain't here, he's jumping on me. Mario does better than me. So what can I do? How can I get better at reading the side chat? Calling all you guys' names out? Or is it just something I should not concern myself with?
I wouldn't worry about it. Here's the thing, man. Learn not to give a shit.
Yeah, man. Stop getting so butthurty.
What's up, Mark?
Jamie,
And that's nothing on the side chat.
Jamie, we can't help it that all these people in the side chat are snowflakes.
Just learn not to give a shit.
Well, it really wouldn't concern me, and I really wouldn't care, except for I want to do these guys. They're good enough to watch us on Friday night.
Here's the thing, Jamie. They're going to show up every week if they want to. If they don't, then they don't. they're all going to give you shit no matter what. So, just learn not to give a shit. If they weren't giving you shit, you know you'd be doing something wrong.
Well, there you go. You can't make everybody happy.
I find it best to make no one happy. That way you
No, you can't. Just ask Matt. He can't.
If you really set the bar down here, you're not expecting to make anybody happy. You're probably not going to complete your tasks. There's just no downside. Like, you're always on top.
Thanks, New York Outcast. I appreciate it.
It was like when I actually watched football, it was like being a Browns fan. Who better fan or what better team to root for than the team that loses all the time? That way, when they did win, it was an absolute celebration.
Or you could be me and live in Georgia and be a Falcons fan where they almost get you there, and then just to crush your
don't forget the Braves. Don't forget the Braves.
All that into a fine crusty powder. And right now we've got the Atlanta Hawks up 3-1 in the NBA playoff series against the New York Nets. So I predict they lose. They only got to have one more game. So anyway,
if you want to be disappointed at all times, there's a real easy way to be a master at that in just a few short weeks. Become a Baltimore Orioles fan.
Wow. I thought I had it bad being a Raider fan. Holy crap.
Well, you do, but
Baltimore has a team?
I mean, they call it that. I think it's more of like a practice.
Yeah, it's like one of the original teams in baseball.
I know. I believe it or not, many years ago, I used to like sports, and I had there was a couple good players from the Orioles way back then.
Yeah, his name was
Uncle John. The Scotsman had a Scottish accent until he moved to Georgia, and he don't talk like that anymore.
Shaking that stir.
Actually, I had my accent was a lot thicker and stronger until I moved to Missouri. I moved to Missouri, and I've told this story a few times, but I moved to Missouri and I started teaching kids. Kids didn't really listen too well when they couldn't understand the words coming up my mouth. So I had to slow my speech down, and slowly but surely kind of dissipated a little bit.
Yes, I couldn't understand the Scottish when I was in Iraq. I had to get another guy to translate for me.
It would be a great video is if you recorded a conversation with you and your brother for like 5 minutes, like when you call back home and you just go full Scottish again, and you guys are just talking about nothing important, just catching up. Just clip 5 minutes of that and put it on the internet. It'll be gold.
We could do that. We can do that because it does happen. Seriously, I'll start talking to my brother, and before you know it, it's right back.
Yeah, I'm really more of a college.
Hey guys, I'm gonna have to duck out.
All right, later, man.
All right.
Hi, Daniel.
Thanks for having me on.
All right, so there's a thing going on out in the comment section that I just can't let go. A couple people said something about real men watch hockey, and I first of all say I wouldn't classify real men as anybody that watches the sport instead of plays it. So that's number one. Number two, rugby.
I was gonna say real men play rugby.
Real men play rugby. Yeah.
I understand half of rugby. I don't understand how they throw the ball to the sides and they throw some dude up in the air and trying to catch that. I don't understand that part.
Well, you can advance the ball by running it, throwing it laterally. Well, it's actually just behind lateral or straight back.
Yeah, you can kick the crap out of it too.
You can kick it as long as it touches the ground first.
Yeah. Yeah, but we suck in rugby, thank God.
Yeah, I played rugby for 3 seasons. So 3 whole seasons, which is 6 seasons total.
Poco, you're full of shit. I'm sorry, man, but you're full of shit.
Yeah.
I call bullshit on that one.
Wes S says rugby hurts a lot. It
does.
It does.
Another thing, I just don't understand the positions. Like, who are the guys in the line and the guys that they throw the pass to, and I don't know. Kind of.
So let me ask you this: since you don't understand it, have you actually tried to take the time to understand it? Since
I watch it,
you apparently understand the NFL, which to me is a whole bunch of bullshit and fucking sissies dressed up in fucking uniforms and helmets and shit.
Yeah.
And then you don't understand fucking rugby, where real men fucking just run at each other and go bam.
No, I understand. I'm talking about the game, fool.
I get that's what I'm talking about too, though.
Yeah, I'm trying to understand the game. I don't know the whole rules of the game. I understand how they score and stuff like that. I just don't understand the certain things.
But again, are you taking the time to try and actually fucking learn it?
Yeah, but then there's different ones. They're saying that there's the Australian is different than everybody else's, and I'm like, well, what's the difference?
So, it's actually can be really boiled down quickly because there aren't that many positions to speak of. It's not like on a football field. You have your scrummies, and basically after that you have it depends on. In my league, we had lifters. That actually lifted it for the throw-ins. But other than that, you really don't have a whole lot of actual positions. Like I was a second row, right side second row in the scrum. That was my position, which is basically Mario. If you've watched it, you've seen them get together and then they come down like a diamond. And the ball gets thrown in between them.
Totally, yes, I've seen it.
So you have your left and right guys. You have your hooker in the middle. You have your second row prop guys, which is 2 of them, and then the third. And that is sort of like the tip-off in basketball. And other than your guys that take your throw-ins, there's really not a whole lot of positions to speak of.
It's really not that hard to follow along. It's really not. And Wes is out there. He played in high school, broke fingers, bruised ribs, torn ligaments. Yeah, that's exactly what you'll get, man. I had cracked ribs. You name it, dude.
That's why I can only do this with this arm. I can do this, but rugby's the reason I can only do this.
Yeah.
You can still do the My Little Teapot song. It's okay.
As a matter of fact, just by doing that, my hand's down numb. It's a great.
Somebody's intrigued.
I wish I could still play it.
Yeah, it's been many, many years for me. Many, many years.
2001 was the last time I played.
I'm going to say probably 98, 99.
Yeah, 2001 was the last time I played that. I had my shoulder injury, which was a dislocated shoulder and fractured collarbone. Played the rest of the tournament game like that, in fact, because real men play rugby.
Fuck yeah, they do.
and then it was 4 years later that I started cage fighting. So I went from
one extreme to the other.
One extreme to the other.
Yeah.
So did you ever lose any matches to the cage?
To the cage itself, no.
Yeah, cage fighting. What are you fighting a cage for? That was meant to be a lame joke. It wasn't just a failure at a joke.
I know. It was.
Dad joke.
Okay, Scotsman. Cricket.
Oh, fuck off.
I tried, dude. I tried. we filled up that time. I got no ideas left.
Cricket, really? Come on, man.
There's like 35 people on a cricket team and no bases and one bat.
I got nothing, man.
Yeah, I grew up in a baseball family. The Howell side.
I'm gonna piss some people off here, but I don't fucking care about baseball. And I don't fucking care about cricket. They're both fucking stupid. Sorry, it is what it is. It's just how I see
That's
it.
why this is America, man. You got the right to feel that way. But by the time I got out of high school, man, I was baseballed out. My family was like, well, you need to keep playing baseball. I'm like, no.
Baseball is America's favorite nap time.
Yeah, it is. Listen, man, let me tell you, after church on Sundays, baseball, golf, and racing, put them on. I'm out for the nap, baby. Those are great nap taking TV shows. But it got to the point where I'd watch a baseball game and I could tell you what's fixing to happen before it happens. And at that point in time, not only did I play from the time I was 5 years old till I got out of high school, I coached my kids' team, and it was, yeah. Hey, Bacon.
What's up, brother? Good to see you.
Absolutely.
Man, the airman is here. What's up, bro?
So yeah, that was I played a little bit of football. Tried to play basketball. Too short, too slow.
Yeah, Daniel's at the tanning booth again.
Well,
You wait and see, man. You joke about it, but I'll guarantee you're going to be in for a surprise. This is probably going to be one of the more epic tan-offs you'll ever see.
Yeah.
Epic.
Still won't be as good as the drink off, but it'll
Oh no,
definitely
the
be
drink off was great, especially when I had Mr. Bold and Curious do the Itsy Bitsy Spider. That was amazing. Fantastic work, sir.
That's very cool, Ozzy. He said his son's left arm and baseball got him a college degree. So yeah, use it for what you can get out of it. They just wanted me to do the minor league thing. I was tired of baseball. I was over baseball. I didn't play baseball like everybody else played baseball. See, I wanted to play like they played in the 40s and 50s. I sharpened my spikes, all that.
You mean before it was all about money?
Yeah, back when it was men playing for quote unquote the love of the game.
Yep.
All those guys back then had another job. They played baseball during the summer, and then they had another job in the winter.
Hey, but look at the bright side. At least Alex Rodriguez has got a makeup line now for men.
Say what?
There's a bunch of dudes that are coming out with like professional sports athletes. I think a basketball player's got nail polish, and Alex Rodriguez has got like a foundation, or I don't know what they call it, but the stuff you put on that looks like your skin color to hide blemishes. Yeah, Alex Rodriguez for men.
Oh, wow.
And that's what happens when you don't play a man's sport like rugby. You become a little bitch and sell fucking products.
Hey man, in the compound with Clyde, that they designed them like that. Kids grew up throwing baseballs, so they wanted your grenade to feel kind of like a baseball. So yeah.
Man, the chat kind of died off.
Yeah. All right, let me show you these. Have any of y'all used these? The lineman bleachers.
Nope.
They're not bad, man. And see, when you're not using them, you can turn them upside down, stack them, all this crap.
Is that something that Lyman just recently came with?
I don't think so. I think they've been around for a while.
Yeah, they've been out for a while.
Yeah,
okay.
they look like all the bullets are sitting at a baseball game, right?
Yeah.
No, these are pretty neat.
I see you shoot a lot of 357.
Yeah, you like that? Check these out. Hollow points, baby. Cast bullet hollow points. These are from. There you go. Can you see it? There you go.
Mm-hmm.
These are from CW Longshot. I got some that Chico made. I got some Remington 125 jacket hollow points loaded up, and I got these are just my cast. These are the Lee 358 158 round flat, and
Oh, very nice.
we're just going to shoot these in water jugs probably tomorrow. See what kind of see if we can catch one first of all.
Yeah. You have more than one 357 revolver, right? I mean, you don't just have the 586.
No, I've got a 586 and a 686 and a little small carry gun, Taurus, and then I have the lever gun. The never can remember the name of that thing. Rossi 92.
Oh, okay, got it.
I do too, Bacon. We're going to see if it'll expand. I might have those too hard. Yeah. Man, we're getting a lot of baseball comments out there. But yeah, we'll turn it back to reloading. So yeah, I like that bullet. Scotsman, have I sent you any of those? Have I made you any of those? I did once.
Yeah, I got some bullets from you. I can't remember exactly all the ones you sent. I'll have to take a look. I still got some sitting there.
What caliber round do you think would go through a baseball?
I think a lot of them would.
I don't know. That's what I mean, obviously 50 BMG will blow a baseball to pieces, but I'm talking about like put a hole through a baseball.
That's
I
kind
can
of
I can guarantee.
interesting question, and I might have to go buy a few baseballs just to see.
Yeah, I might. You guys are probably gonna think I'm crazy when saying this, but I think a 22 long rifle can go through that thing.
I've been meaning it. So I was going to buy some baseballs not long ago just for my dog. My dog likes them so much. And damn, those things are expensive. And have you looked them up lately?
Yes, they're
Anybody?
expensive.
Yeah.
Yes, they are. Yeah, I used to play baseball, and yeah, they're expensive. Even the cheaper one, the Diamond Series baseball, are expensive because they're actually not made in the United States. They're made in the Dominican Republic. So not sure why it's only one country doing all the baseballs in the world. But yeah, it's
I mean, I just looked it up. A Rawlings baseball is $48 or for 12
Fuck
of them.
that. No, fuck that. I ain't doing that video. That's an expensive video.
No, you can get those cheap Chinese knockoff ones. You can get those. You can probably get those for like $5.
Offer them $50 for a bucket of wasted baseballs.
That's insane.
2082 for 3 of them. Wilson for some blems. It doesn't say how many is $41. I mean, yeah, I was thinking like some baseballs would be like a couple bucks a piece. $2,
Right?
$3, maybe $5.
I think maybe softballs are less expensive. I think softballs might be less expensive.
Here's a 12-pack, standard size, unmarked. Here's some unmarked generic ones, $27. That's still $2-3 a piece. So that's not bad, I guess.
That's still not telling. When you say Waddle go through a baseball, I think of a baseball that they use in the major leagues, and that's a Raleigh.
Yeah, well, it's.
That'd be an expensive video.
I'm not doing that video.
Genuine cowhide cover, and I guess it's a solid core now. It used to be a cork cover wrapped in a certain kind of thread, and then they count the stitches.
Here we go. I'm going to share a screen here.
All right.
You got it?
Here we go. What the fuck?
12 baseballs, $115.50.
Yeah, that's they're smoking crack.
Yeah, at least you get free shipping through Prime. Just saying.
And I can get them tomorrow. We're taking super chats right now.
Holy crap.
That's a good one, Dave.
Wow. I'd make for a good video, but that's fucking expensive.
Yeah, distance too. Think about it. Shoot a baseball at 100 yards, or we'll start at 50, then 100, then hit a baseball out at 200 yards. That's going to take some shooting, man.
Yep. Definitely. Well, let's start going through the room. We're almost at that time, so we'll start going through the room. Jamie, what you got?
I'm going to take these 357s. I think I got 5 or 6 different loads, and I'm going to try to catch some in milk jugs, in water jugs, and see if they expand. So I think me and Jay's going to try to do that tomorrow. Guys, thanks for putting up with me, and thanks for having me on, Scotsman. Y'all can check us out on Friday nights on the Georgia Shooting Connection channel, and we talk mostly reloading, but we talk about baseball and other things too. Y'all come check us out.
Always good to have you, man.
Thanks for having me, man.
Always good to have you. Kingpin, what you got, brother?
Oh, man, everybody have a good night. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, sir. Bellbean.
Thanks for joining us, guys. Have a great night.
All right. And Matt, what you got, brother?
I got a ton of stuff in the works. I got a bunch of small giveaways I'm going to start doing. Other than that, thanks for having me on.
All right, awesome. It was good to have you on. We had some good topics tonight. Lots of good chat out there. Side chat was rocking and rolling. This week, I've got a 9mm PCC build that I did. I just finished that, so we're gonna get that up and shoot it. First round's down range, and hopefully everything runs okay. Other than that, I don't know what else I got. We'll see. But appreciate everyone out there. Remember, it is Memorial Weekend. Remember those that served. Remember those that have fallen, and paid the ultimate sacrifice for you to have your freedom, for everyone to have their freedom. That's all I got, guys. Stay safe, stay vigilant. We are out of here.